Coach, can you talk about the way kind of Rashidi Jones' career has progressed from the highly touted recruit to the injury to kind of where he's at now?
Well, he's obviously very highly recruited, and then he had that hip injury, which was a very difficult injury to overcome. It took him 2 years to overcome that, a year just to get back up on his feet, and then another year to learn to play at the speed of the game and overcome the mental strain of what could happen again. And he's done very well, and he's improved considerably in the last few months just on his willingness to compete and give effort and play hard. And I mentioned last week that he's done a good job of playing with effort and in the games, and that's what's important. And he's starting to get back some of the skill he had in high school before he was injured.
There's a lot of ways a player can contribute to the program, and in fact I asked him about this the other day. One of the reputations he has is when he shows recruits around as an official host, he says he's unbeaten. He says every guy he's ever shown around on an official visit is committed and signed with Oklahoma State. And he says it's because I show him what I love about Oklahoma State.
He'd go out in the real world and be in the sales business and make a lot of money. He's got a great smile. He's got a good personality. He has a lot of street savvy, and he's got great people skills. And we put him with the best that come through here. And he's got a great track record of getting guys committed. One, because he's good of all the things I just mentioned, and two, because he loves this place. He is telling you the truth and shooting you straight when he talks about his ability to recruit.
Speaking of the defense, folks, talk about the challenges that Tulsa's offense provide you guys. They really spread the ball around and do a lot of things.
They do a great job of playing with speed. They use multiple formations and gadget plays, but they do a good job of blocking and throwing and catching and keeping you off balance. And in my opinion, they make you scramble at times, and obviously I'm not in their coaches' meetings, but it looks like that's one of their goals, and they're good at it. They do a nice job of mixing things up.
But you guys have had a lot of long plays on offense, 20, 30, 40 yards. Were you surprised you had this many long plays this early in the season out of that offense?
I was not surprised with that. I thought Kendall Hunter gave us an opportunity to have big plays. I thought the ability of Whedon to throw the ball down the field would give us a chance to get big plays. We should have had three more. We had three people running wide open that he overthrew. That could have been really big plays for us, but obviously that's part of football. But that doesn't really surprise me. I think that we'll have an opportunity to get big plays each week if we stay with the game plan. And one thing that Coach Holgerson does a good job is he's going to call his plays. So whatever we've practiced and that we feel like gives us a chance to get big plays, we don't leave the game and not have called those plays. So that always gives you a chance when you're willing to call them and not worry about it.
Talk a little about Kendall. The first week he was exposed to big plays. This week more tough, rather 4, 5, 6 yards pop, not exposed to play, but still the big numbers.
Yeah, he's obviously been very effective. I think the system that he's in right now really works to his benefit. Gives him a chance to get in space very quick. And his willingness to play on special teams has helped him. I think it's kept him more involved in the games. He had 33 touches in the last game, not counting special teams. So anytime you touch the ball more than 35 times, you're going to be involved in it and keeps you going mentally. So we just need to continue to move forward with him, and I think he's very satisfied with where we're at, both as a team and him as an individual.
This performance really show how tough he is. There's a lot more inside running, and a lot different than the first week.
Well, there was, and Troy was pretty good up front, and those two ends they have are good players, and the big guy that played in there at the linebacker spot. So there were more tough yards, and he's going to have to get accustomed to that because as we progress through the season, that's what he's going to face. And then if he wants to, which I'm sure he does, to play beyond this level, then it'll be that way every week.
These last few non-conference games, what are the things that you think you have to shore up before you get to Big 12 play?
Well, we have to get prepared to beat Tulsa. We're not good enough to worry about anything past practicing tomorrow. We're not. We've improved in areas. We've got some guys that have made some plays and help us win some games. We have some young players that are contributing even more than what we may have thought at this time. But we've got a ways to go. We got a lot of areas to improve in. We have to be better at throwing and catching. We got to be better at protecting. We got to be better at covering kicks. We got to be better at defending vertical passing games. We got to be better tacklers. So we've got a lot to work on, more than you could actually get done in 1 week. And that's where I mentioned the basic fundamentals. Continue to work hard on those and try to get better and better each week. But we'll have our hands full with just getting prepared to play Tulsa.
Coach, you worried about the defensive tackle depth at all?
Yes, been worried about them all summer. You'd like to have 4 guys that you rotate in there to keep those guys fresh, and we're playing with a couple guys that have some experience, and then we're playing with freshmen. And so they're doing a good job with where they're at, but we're always concerned about your depth. We are always concerned about our depth at the inside tackle spot on defense.
You ever spend much time with Todd Graham, and your thoughts on him?
Well, I don't really spend much time with any coaches. We all work during the same time of the year. I see him in recruiting, and obviously have been able to follow his career. Thought he's done a great job, and when we're in the same environment, we talk and have discussions, and but not necessarily hang out and eat dinner, things like that. So, but they've done a good job over there. He's done a really nice job at Tulsa.
Do you guys expect, with the way both teams can score, to get into a shootout, and do you manage the game differently with both teams, able to kind of keep the defenses on the field the way you guys score so quickly?
Every time you say that, it ends up being a 17-14 game. It never fails. So if you look at statistics, then it looks like there's going to be a lot of points scored. That was mentioned in games we've been in before, and it doesn't always turn out that way. So we're going to do the best we can to defend them and do the best we can to execute on special teams and do the best we can to score a lot of points on offense. Take it from there.
Mike, one thing that's been pretty consistent, though, is if you look at Dana's record the last few years, wherever he's been, there's not a lot of 17-14 games. There's a whole bunch of 56-42 and 49-41.
Yeah.
Is your health prepared for
Well, again, good for season ticket holders, bad for people that have a condition but I'm good. I'm okay. I would prefer to not be a 56-54. I'd prefer to be 56-14. But I like what we're doing on offense. I like the way that we can strike fast. I like the excitement and the flexibility that we have with our offense. I like the way we run the football. And I'm convinced that we will continue to get better and better. We will face teams throughout the season that we may have a difficult time in handling certain pass rushers or certain guys that cover our receivers, but I'm convinced that this is the best thing for what we're trying to accomplish here at Oklahoma State. And I'm excited that we made this change, and I'm excited about recruiting players to continue to bring this offense along. I think that we have a very marketable product, and we got the right people coaching it. And so I'm just looking forward to sitting back and watching it. I think it's good for Oklahoma State football.
In other words, you have to change your goals or expectations in terms of numbers?
Well, that's a good question.
Troy had 86 plays, I think.
They had 86. Yeah, that's a good question. And most defensive coordinators would not. They would prefer to be out there about 68 plays, and we were out there 86. The flip side of that is, you want to score points, but there's no question that you have to rethink your team philosophy and how the 3 segments work together. And there's thought that's gone into that. We would like to get to a point where we can move the ball and score enough points, and the defense is out there a little bit more, but then you widen your lead so much that you put the other team in a situation where they're reaching and just trying to play catch-up. And, you alluded to that a few weeks ago when we talked about, you had asked me the question about what had gone on with Leach in the past. And so, at times when they played games, they put teams in that situation, and they were playing catch-up so much that it made them vulnerable to to many things to many ways of being attacked by the other team. So we're not there yet, but hopefully it'll work out that way in the future.
I guess what I'm saying is, if you don't study it very deeply, you look at 41-38 and you think, well, Bill Young didn't have a very good night. But in reality,
He could.
pretty good on it.
Yeah, and you look across the country and you're seeing some of that. At different places the last couple of years, you're seeing where defensive coordinators and defensive coaches could have done a nice job and the team scored 31 points. And the other thing that you're seeing that the parity amongst schools across the country, there's more of that there, and you're seeing teams that may have played poorly the week before, and then they can come back and play very well against a team that maybe they thought they had no chance to win. So overall, I think it's tough on coaches, but good for the fans that like to watch the game. So good. All right.